If you could tell me your full name and give me permission or say that, let me know that it's okay to be recording this interview, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Um, I'm Irene, Akinyi, and yeah, it's okay to do that. Record video.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to talk to you about was the way that the arrangement for marriage works here,
Mm-hmm.
and if you could just give me basically how it worked for you and how else it can possibly work for someone else, and explain the process of the dowry and the tradition.
Okay. Uh, okay. Marriage. In Kenya, mostly not everybody can do weddings. So most people don't do weddings. They just do it traditionally, which is parents. The guy comes to meet the girl's parents with people from his home or his close friends, but mostly his brothers or uncle or dad, and they go meet the parents of the girl, and then
Sounds like your door, so you could talk to the computer.
okay, then the when the par if the parents agree, if the parents say yes, then they go ahead and start making marriage arrangements, like to have a wedding. So people go up country, and like we have so many tribes, and each tribe has their own kind of system that they follow. Maybe a ceremony, mostly a ceremony that happens. And in my culture, the guy is expected to pay dowry, but the way we do it is different from other cultures. I'm Luo, and Kikuyus do it differently than Kambas and Luyas and so on and so forth. So in Luo, the guy has to come first. There's something we call a ye, which which means I agree, and the parents have to say they agree. So he first comes with his dad and a few people from home, and they come to my home and meet my parents. And when they come to do that, they're coming to ask for permission.
For your hand.
Yeah, for my hand. Okay. So he's going to be asked a few questions. Sometimes they're going to be given a hard time because parents have to, they have to be sure that this is the right man for my daughter.
So have what your parents have met him before this process takes place?
For some people yes, but mine hadn't.
So you've been with your fiance for how long?
5 years.
And when he did the dowry, that was the first time of them meeting him?
When he did I agree when he came to ask for my hand in marriage. Okay. Yeah, but I had prepared my parents in advance that he was coming, and I had told them before that I was planning to get married to this guy, and so they knew he was coming, and which tribe he was, and for how long we've known each other, and things like that. It's different because in Africa, families are different, but traditionally, like you don't openly talk to your parents about your boyfriend. Such kind of issues are private. Like it's kind like an abomination to sit with your mom or your dad and start telling them like, I have, this boyfriend, and he he comes home like all the time and things like that. That does not happen much. Things are slowly changing, but many families still keep it the same. Unless you're really sure that this is the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and you are going to marry this person, then you don't. You don't like take them home because you don't want to take so many boyfriends to your parents, break up, bring another one, break up, bring another one. So unless you're very sure. So for me, I wanted to wait until I was very sure that this was the guy that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. So yeah, when I was sure and we were engaged, and we were pretty confident that this is what we wanted to do, then I told my parents about it. But my brothers and sisters had met me before. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so how does the process work of the yay?
Of the a year, I agree. Yeah. So he comes home with his dad and mom and some other people, usually about five, and they, sit and talk. food is prepared and all that, but they only eat after, you know, they settle down everything. So he has to come with some gifts, like you can buy food stuff from the supermarket and things like that, and then also come with some money to give my parents. Yeah, so he did that.
Millions of shillings?
No, not a lot of money.
Okay.
Yeah, just a couple of thousands. Nothing too extravagant at that point, because that's the first time that they're.
As well as the livestock too? Is that
No. That happens later.
Okay.
Okay. So after they've met and they agree, and my parents say, okay, your son can marry my daughter. Then now we start planning for the dowry.
Okay.
So we paid. He went to pay the dowry about 4 months after we had gone for the IE ceremony. That was done here in Nairobi.
Okay.
But the dowry has to be done up country.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had to travel all the way to Siaya, and that is where he paid the dowry. And what you pay, like for the dowry, is have to bring goats and cows and some money too. But now it depends on your ability, and how the parents are going to negotiate and talk, and agree, okay, you can have this. But dowry is not final. Like when he pays it, then when he comes with the cattle and money at that time and we are done, that is not the end of the dowry process. Dowry is a lifelong thing. Like he can continue coming home with, an animal or bring money or things like that, because it's just to appreciate. Yeah, kind of tell my parents thank you for bringing up this lady in, this way, and now I'm able to have her, and I just appreciate the fact that you brought her up.
So he can just take a couple of cows and a couple of goats every so often.
Every so often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And then that would normally be the end of the marriage process.
Yeah,
for
like
most people.
For most people, after dowry is brought, I'm considered a wife.
But you don't have an actual ceremony.
That's a ceremony.
Ceremony.
It's a big party.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because uncles and aunties and friends and people come, like all the relatives. And it's food is cooked, and the guys just have a party. It's a big party, so it's considered a marriage in itself.
Okay.
Yeah, but because we are Christians, we wanted to do it before God, before we could move in together. Okay. So we wanted to have that blessing. Okay. So we are going to wait until after the wedding, church wedding, then we move in together after the wedding. But if you are not Christians and the wedding is not that important, then after the dowry, yeah, well, I'm considered married. Okay.
And you're having a traditional wedding where you walk down the aisle and your father gives you away?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And about how many people are you having at your wedding?
At my wedding, I plan to have 250.
Wow.
But because our culture right now, like a marriage it's not a personal thing. It's a community thing. Okay. I don't know if it's the same in your culture, but it's a communal thing. So, like, I can't say it's going to be private. So I'm going to invite people, but then people also invite other people. So I expecting to have such a big number than 250. So I'm anticipating the number is going to be higher than that. So probably 300, 320. Yeah, because some people are going to come even without the invitation. They hear, oh, Irene is getting married, so is this happening? Oh, they show up.
And you have to let them in and see them and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, in our country, if you don't have an invitation, you don't go.
Yeah, you just show up.
Okay.
Yeah, not unless it's really strict, but then you are considered snob if you do that, and you're going to rub people the wrong way, and you don't want that, because even after that ceremony, you still need your friends and relatives and things like that. So mostly, if whoever comes, you're welcome.
Okay. And what do you know what tribes more so approach marriage in an arranged setting? Is that something that's still done here?
Well, it is still done, but uh, very few people do it. And the parents will do it for people who they think cannot reach themselves. Like if I was too shy to, to have a boyfriend, or if a guy is too shy to approach a girl, then the parents can arrange
For him to
have an arranged marriage. Yeah, I've seen that happen in my family.
Okay.
Like my auntie, like her wedding on her wedding day, or she didn't have a wedding, but the guy she married, it was an arranged marriage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on Sunday we had there was a surprise bridal shower that was given for you. Are bridal showers normal here? Is that something that people do?
Yeah, people do, but for those who are enlightened, like if you've watched a lot of movies from the States, or you've read in magazines, it's not a Kenyan thing.
No.
So if you have friends who have kind of copied the Western lifestyle,
Okay.
they will surprise you with that, but it's not something that everybody expects. So I was really happy because I was not expecting it. I knew, bridal showers happen and I can't throw one for myself. So you're kind of like hoping, oh, somebody's going to do it.
Okay.
So yeah, it happens, but very few people do it.
Why couldn't you throw it for yourself?
Well, because I've always thought that, somebody's supposed to do it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
normally the maid of honor does do
Yeah.
it for you, and that's Molly.
Yeah, Molly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's your maid of honor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if like some girls are controlling and like to know how everything's going. So I know girls that have planned their own bridal showers
Okay.
and just given action steps to the people that they wanted to be involved.
Okay.
So it is something that can be done. But I just wondered what was the standard here. So
There's no standard because it's not
a popular
it's
thing.
not a popular thing. It's not Kenyan. Yeah.
Okay.
We are just copying. Even the wedding itself, we're just copying a lot of things from the West.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your biggest concern about your wedding day?
My biggest concern is that food is not going to be enough. Because you don't want to come, from your wedding day and you hear people start saying, there was not enough food, I did not eat, I did not have a soda, and you just want it to be like, people say it was fun, I ate. Like food is really important.
Okay.
It's very, very important. So my only worry is I may have too many people, because I think many people are going to come and the food might not be enough.
So are you planning to have extra food?
Well, there are also cost constraints because
Okay.
we had a budget.
Okay.
And we have to work with that budget because we do not have anything extra.
Okay.
So I'm just hoping guys are going to be reasonable and not bring so many friends or so many relatives or bring all your kids if you have 8. So I'm just hoping that guys are going to be reasonable and don't invite too many other people.
And so I think that's why maybe at home it's planned and it's per invite because that's how you do plan
Yeah.
to have enough food. So I can see how that would be
Yeah.
concerning when you don't know.
Yeah, that is my only concern.
You have an
I'm
extra
sure.
possible 100 people that may be showing up.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And
Because initially I thought about having the invite only, and I even wrote like when in the invitation card that please bring your card on the wedding day.
Yeah.
But then again, a lot of people advised me against it. So I was like, well,
okay.
So yeah.
All right. And so your wedding is going to be on February 23rd.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you the best, and I will definitely keep you in my prayers. I'm glad I was able to be part of the bridal shower. I'm sorry I won't be here for the wedding.
Oh, I was surprised to see you there. It was really nice.
It was beautiful.
It
was beautiful. Like it makes me know how when I do a bridal shower that I want to make sure that God is first in it. Like normally it's all about the bride.
Yeah.
But this was more about God
Yeah.
and blessing the bride.
Yeah.
And I really, really learned a lot from that. Like just in the sharing
Mm-hmm.
and then the call to your husband or your fiance and
Oh,
being able to hear
yeah,
his
that was
beautiful words about you.
That's so nice.
And then also the beautiful basically commitment card that we all signed, blessing your marriage.
Yeah.
From the poem from Fiona.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that was beautiful, and I will definitely take some of those ideas home and treasure them and cherish them. But I thank you for sharing this information with me. Is there anything else about marriage or the process that you would like to share?
Yeah, it's just that you have to like involve, like the parents have a lot of say so in what, you know, what's happening like in the marriage. Like they, like during the wedding, uh, you can't tell your mom or your dad, you can only have this number of friends coming, and it's also their day.
Do they help pay for it?
If your parents are well off, yeah, they pay for it, but if they are not, then you pay for it. And also here, the wedding is not just, the bride is not meeting all the costs, it's the bride and the groom.
Okay.
Yeah. And the parents chip in if they have money. If you come from a well off family, they help you. Like for me, for my wedding, it's just been me and Robert.
And your wedding committee.
Yeah, and my wedding committee. Just.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? How that works? The committee.
Okay. Yeah, like money is a big issue, and the income that we get is hardly enough to do a wedding with. So you need people to help you. And what we usually do here in Kenya is that if you cannot meet the cost of the wedding yourself, then you have a wedding committee. You put up a committee together, the bride and the groom, and this consists of your close friends and family, both the bride and the groom, and you just pick a few people that can help you, and you sit and agree how much money everybody is going to pledge. So before you have your first meeting, you need to have the budget ready, like how much money do you intend to raise, and how much money are the two of you have already or are going to bring into the committee for the wedding. Then the remainder, then the committee shares. Everybody pledges a certain amount, but usually it's uniform so that everybody is going to chip in the same amount of money. If there's any more that needs to be raised because somebody may say, that is too much, we need to reduce it, and you will still have a deficit, then we print out small cards which every member of the committee is given, and each card is written a certain amount of money, and you go selling that to people like friends and or workmates, and somebody may take a card that's 200 shillings, then they give you 200 shillings back. And people understand because that is something that is usually done.
Like you said, it's a community.
Yeah.
Community, so
Yeah. So somebody's going to come and say, "Oh, Latoya, my sister is having this wedding and we're trying to raise money, and I have this card for you if you will buy it." So you take the card and give the money, and that is how more money is raised for the wedding. Okay. So the committee is a good thing, but it is also a little bit stressful because these guys are helping you raise money for the wedding. They also want to have a bit of say so in how you do stuff.
Oh wow. Yeah,
so sometimes it's a little challenge. Yeah, because they want you to do things like this, and they're like, "No, it's my wedding. I don't want that. I want this done this way." So you have to, and you also, when you're talking, you don't want them to think that you are too
selfish.
Selfish.
Self-centered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you also want to please them. So it's a little challenging also, even though it's something that's very good and helps you plan. Because you also delegate duty on, to the members of the committee so that the load is a little easy on both the bride and the groom. Yeah.
So will those people help orchestrate your wedding on the day of? Like, will they help make sure everything is in order and organized?
Yeah. Like everybody's given responsibility. You'll be in charge of telling, the drivers where to park, making sure people are seated, and food is served and
like
everybody has food. Yeah, so it's like a staff. So yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you so much for enlightening me on the Kenyan way of marriage and the different traditions and the dowry. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.